All right, enough of this. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Juventus will play in the Champions League next year after they beat up Bologna 4-1, while Napoli are held by Verona 1-1. And they do it without Cristiano Ronaldo, who is dropped to the bench because apparently, quote, he was tired. Jules, what do you make of this?
He's not tired. If you don't play your best, well, arguably your best player, one of the greatest ever, in a game, in such a big game.
It's such a big game for the continuation of his career as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like you say, like, okay, let's not play him. Let's hope we don't finish top 4. We can get rid of him because he's not going to stay if he plays Europa League. No, I'm obviously joking. But I still thought it was very, very significant. I thought this is Pirlo saying, hey, I don't need you for this. We can do this without you, even if he was not in their hands, because if Napoli doesn't mess this up, Ronaldo or not Ronaldo, Juve finish 5th. So I thought it was very brave.
Well, I love kind of like the PR around this. Obviously, you drop them in such a huge game, it's huge. But beginning, they come out, they say, oh, coach's decision. You know, it was a technical decision, as they call it. And then Fabio Paratici, Juve's director of football, by the way, whose contract is expiring very soon, comes out and says, well, no, he and Pirlo had a talk and they both decided that he was a bit tired, so it was best to leave him on the bench. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm really going to believe that Cristiano Ronaldo, of all people, who, you know, would play with on one leg, you know, without his limbs, like the limbless, like the guy from Monty Python, is going to say, oh, no, boss, I'm too tired to play. Come on. Pirlo,
against Bologna as well, where he knew he would have scored a hat-trick easily.
Exactly.
I mean, if even Dybala and Morata scored.
No, but it was so sweet seeing him on the bench, like with the other guys, like looking at the video and like cheering and cheering Verona on against Napoli. I mean,
but well done to Chiesa, who scored again, and we said how clutch he'd been, and Morata with 2 goals, and Mabo Rabiot as well. So hey, it's a good way of finishing the season. 2 Franck Kessie penalties give Milan a 2-0 win over Atalanta and a spot in the Champions League, finishing 2nd in the table. Gab, how big is this for them financially, but also in terms of for the standing of the club?
It's really big for the standing of the club. I mean, having Milan back in the Champions League, for younger listeners may have forgotten this.
7 years.
There's only one team in the universe that has won more Champions League trophies than Milan. You know, it's as simple as that.
Simple as that.
It was fantastic. They got a huge send-off from their fans. There were fans, you know, Bergamo's just down the road from Milan. So there were fans outside the stadium cheering them on. There were also, for a while, there were also a bunch of Atalanta fans also cheering on Milan from outside the stadium because they wanted Juventus to be knocked out, although Napoli screwed that up for them. So it's really important. It happened, you know, it happened without Zlatan. Still need to sort out Gigio Donnarumma. I think they should let Çalhanoğlu go and continue with youth. But it matters because, you know, they do have owners with money who are willing to invest money. But equally, you know, if you're in the Champions League, you've got more money coming in. You can do more stuff with sponsors. You know, it is a big step forward in their plan.
And how good was Kessie? He's been fantastic.
For me, really, like, he's not going to win it, but I think he's Milan's Player of the Year. Lionel Messi clocks off early to prepare for the Copa America. So your boy, Antoine Griezmann, picks up his slack for Barcelona as they beat Eibar 1-0 in an entirely meaningless game. Now, Ronald Koeman, though, says his squad wasn't at a level befitting Barcelona this season. Too many young players, too many old players. Your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, Ronald, it's not your fault. Nothing is your fault, isn't it? It's just like the fault of the young players. Oh, it's the fault of the old players as well. But nothing to do with you, maybe, and you maybe not. What's the word you used, Gab? Befitting. Maybe you, Ronald Koeman, are not befitting Barcelona, full stop. More than the squad, more than the players. I've had enough of him. I don't want to see him next season. I've had enough of him. Okay, at some point they played better. He changed our formation. We praised him for that, but he has to go.
I go back to this. Ansu Fati and Gerard Piqué don't get injured. Maybe they win the title.
Napoli held their fate in their hands and could not get it done against Verona. Gab, this was an extraordinary collapse, especially considering they took the lead as well in that game. And pretty much a life sacking via Twitter for Gennaro Gattuso.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 elements to this. One is they were exceptionally limp, really not much urgency in this game. Verona went, they played really well. As well as you, they generally regularly have. But even after Verona equalized, you know, you didn't get the reaction you expected. He just put on more attacking players.
Yeah, like Mertens came on, but...
And Petagna as well, the heavy artillery. And then afterwards, in his own incomparable Aurelio De Laurentiis style, the president puts out a tweet thanking Rino Gattuso and his lovely wife and children And then I love it. He signs his own tweets. It's from his official verified account. Come on, man. Come on. This is grow up. I think Gattuso is going to go somewhere else. And we'll see how he does.
You know, I blame De Laurentiis more than anyone else for them not finishing top 4, because I think the way he unsettled this squad and Gattuso by going and speaking to other managers behind his back in January or February or whatever, I just don't think that helps.
You know what? I blame him 2 years. Look, he's done a lot of great things for this club.
Yeah, of course.
And it's tremendous and, you know, whatever. But the last 2 years, I blame him for this, and I blame this for the Ancelotti situation the year before. Harry Kane is the Premier League's top scorer for the 3rd time. Jules, they don't have a manager, and Harry Kane says he wants to leave.
Yeah.
I gave you my thoughts on whether he's leaving or not last time. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, and it's a mess. I can tell you that. And all Spurs fans, I'm sorry, but it's a mess, because I think Harry Kane looks really determined to leave the club. And with no manager, I'm not sure if they're even near to get an Edin Terzic, which is the last name that was linked to them, or Ralf Rangnick, or Erik ten Hag, or whoever they want. I think the key would be who comes next as a manager, and if he can maybe convince Harry Kane to give them another year, just one more year, like Cristiano did, like a few players have done before. Okay, I'll give you one more year, and then you let me go, and for a reasonable price.
Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I'm not even sure that's going to happen. I think Harry Kane will go. Sergio Aguero comes off the bench for his farewell game for Manchester City and scores 2 goals as Manchester City pound Everton 5-0. Gab, what legacy does he leave? And with Pep all but telling us he's going to Barca, is this a good move for him?
It's 184 Premier League goals, which is just an absurd amount over 10 years, especially when you consider, you know, the last 2 seasons haven't been great. That's his legacy. A phenomenal goal scorer. You know, came in for the money, couldn't even speak. It was so nice to hear him speak English as well. After 10 years.
After 10 years, he should still speak a bit better than that. But hey.
but still, no, he's been phenomenal. The Pep to Barca thing, or Pep saying, "Oh, I think I'm giving away a secret. He's going to a club close to my heart." I don't know. I think it should be cheap. If I'm Barcelona, if I'm Laporta, I say, "Whoa, pump those brakes."
Yeah, I agree.
You know, until you sort out the Messi situation, a Messi Aguero front line. If you prop up Messi and Suarez weren't doing much running and pressing, what are you going to get from a Messi Aguero front line? I mean, it just seems odd for me. Good move for him. Great city, nice town. But unless, of course, maybe Pep, when he talked about a club close to his heart, he was referring to Brescia, which, of course, as you know, he said in the past, if he moves to Serie A, that is the club he will manage.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Jonathan David, not Jonathan David, and Burak Yilmaz fire Lille past Angers 2-1 to secure the title. Jules, out of the Big 5 champions this season, this is the most unlikely story, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. We've got new champions in France, as you said, in Italy, for the first time in France for 10 years, for the first time in Italy for 11 years, first time in...
Don't talk about these other leagues. You're skirting around. Let's talk about Lille's great achievement.
That softened the blow. So, you know, in England as well, new champions. And yeah, in France. They've been the best team. So I'm happy for them that they win it, even if it's ahead of my team, because they've been the most consistent. They've only lost 3 games in the whole season. PSG have lost 8 games. You can't win any league title when you lose 8 games, or, 8 defeats is a lot out of 38 games. And well done to Galtier, well done to Lille. They fully deserve it. I'm gutted, but they fully deserve it, and it's good for them, and I'm happy for them. And I think they make a really good champion.
How much better would they be if Pepe, Osimhen, Gabriel, all those guys are still around, yeah?
Yeah, of course they would.
Rafael.
Yeah, of course, because that's the thing. Even with losing their best players for the last 2 seasons, they still won it. And PSG, who beat Brest 2-0, finished second. Gab, I'm sure you will have sympathy for me, but this is the lowest point total, 82 since the Qatari took over in 2011 in the last 10 years. Should I be concerned? Do you think I should be concerned? And also, what kind of voodoo did Gauthier Larsener did to Neymar to make him miss that pen? A bit like what Landreau did to Ronaldinho back in the day.
Old school there. Yeah. I just love it because he's not in the middle of the goal. He's like, it's almost like he screwed up Neymar's perspective when Neymar missed the penalty, but by standing off to one side. I mean,
it worked.
I wouldn't be concerned. The reality is you were 1 point behind when Poch took over, and you're 1 point behind in a season. It has more to do with Lille's consistency.
Yeah.
But, and obviously you went far in the Champions League, but I think there's a lot of stuff to sort out this summer. A ton of stuff, starting with Mbappe.
Yeah.
Borussia Dortmund beat Bayer Leverkusen 3-1, and Erling Haaland bags 2 goals before heading off to the Monaco Grand Prix. Jules, it's 41 goals in 41 games for him, and he won't even be of legal drinking age in the US until July 21st.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's been amazing even with the injury. He's been fantastic. Not sure about the outfit that he wore on that private jet to Monaco because that was disgusting.
He raided Julien Nagelsmann's wardrobe.
Yeah, that's bad. But hey, well done, Erling, for an amazing season again. Robert Lewandowski leaves it very, very late, but beat Gerd Muller's records of a single season record goal scoring squad with 41 in Bayern's 5-0 win against Augsburg. Gab, compare and contrast Lewa and Muller, if you can.
Gerd Muller, of course, the greatest goal scorer in the history of German football. What I loved about this is, well, first of all, Lewandowski did leave it very, very late.
Yeah,
This is the last kick of the game, which was pretty amazing. He came close a couple times before that. He had some great words for Muller. But it's just a question of thinking about how different these two guys are. You can go on YouTube, see clips of Muller. Muller, short, stocky. Lewandowski, tall, does it all, good in the air, tremendous athlete. And for me, arguably best center forward in the world. Everybody mark your calendars. On June 4th, 2021, Manchester United co-chairman Joel Glazer will, quote, directly engage, unquote, with supporters for the first time at a fans forum. According to the Daily Mail, questions will need to be submitted in advance, which, Jules, kind of makes it sound like those North Korean fan forums where Kim Jong-il goes and engages with his
It's
fans.
progress, Gab. It's good. It's better than having no sort of contact with him at all, no interaction, even if you don't submit your questions before. It's better, right, than nothing?
It is. I honestly think this is a little bit of a lose-lose for if he does it this way,
Let's
right?
see. But let's see. But at least it's better. At least there's progress. There's progress. Colombia was supposed to co-host the Copa America with Argentina this summer, starting on June the 10th or something. But now they've withdrawn after CONMEBOL rejected their request for a postponement of the competition. Gab, we're 2.5 weeks away from the start of the competition. Can Argentina do it all on his own? Are they going to postpone it?
They're going to have to. There's a couple other stadiums we might get to. La Bombonera might become a Copa America stadium. It seems mad, but obviously they've had serious unrest in Colombia, part of it due to COVID, part of it due to the unpopularity of the current government. And they simply decided the situation wasn't safe to do it now. They asked for a postponement. I think they want to do it in September, whatever. Obviously not going to happen. So now Argentina's going to have to do this on their own. Argentina also have serious COVID issues as well. Let's just hope that they can get everything safety. Safety has to come first, both for the players. Just because we're in Europe where the situation subsided a little bit, let's not forget, it's still pretty horrendous out there in many parts of the world.
Definitely.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.